night, I dream the same dream. And then...
Hi, Mystery Reopened here. Today I am going to talk about all of our favorite franchise Marvel. Who's recently released Spider-Man No Way Home, in which theaters, after hitting sixes of all the films, were transferred and left all the films pitched. And now one or bigger film of Marvel's production is going to be released. Yes, I am talking about Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Things just got out of hand.
You break the rules. Look out! Become a hero.
From the very beginning, the trailer has proved that all kinds of action, suspense, thriller, comedy or science fiction will be of the next level in Marvel's production. So now let's start without delay. In The Trailer, you see this version of Baron Mordo working with the Multiverse Illuminati. Team apologize to RFC. You drive Strange that seemingly haul him to wherever their base is and put them in these cells. This could be MCU, Baron Mordo, but I think it's a version of Baron Mordo from the multiverse who became Sorcerer Supreme in his universe and he's replacing Doctor Strange on the classic roster.
I'm sorry, Stephen. Your desecration of...
Most of the roster is pretty close to the original comic book roster, but with multiverse versions, there are a couple differences though that I'll point out that your equation. Doctor Strange trailer and you comment on that at all. Who's drive Strange, but you can actually see Doctor Strange in these special cells. America Chavez is in one of the other cells like the cuffs they put him in, look like Iron Man's technology. But from this other Iron Man variant, you see that Christine Palmer variants and all the other people in white lab coats running around. But then drive Strange gets home to face the Illuminati Council by these Ultron robots and they're meant to belong to this Iron Man variant in the movie that we're calling Superior Iron Man. Right now they got truant vibes about that, but a way more polished version of that, like less hardcore, but still very, very hardcore. The design language seems just much more like Iron Man's armor. They come from a universe where their version of Iron Man, that we're just calling Superior Iron Man, because of the shinier vibe of the suits of armor seems like he was successfully able to avert the disaster. That was Avengers Age of Ultron with Ultron, just going crazy in their universe. Their version of Iron Man would just a little more hardcore than MCU Iron Man, but was able to use this technology to create a version of Ultron that did not go off the rails spectacularly like he did in the MCU. And these robots are just the evolution of that technology, the evolution of the Iron Legion that we saw. But with more Infinity Stone upgrades, like Ultron was an Infinity Stone upgrade to Jarvis in the Iron Legion. The whole idea during Avengers Age of Ultron at the beginning of that movie is that we saw Iron Man and basically created the Iron Legion to function as sort of like mini versions of himself with AI, programming, controlled by Jarvis, and self-in function, with a certain level of autonomy, but for the most part, they were just meant to function like low-level copies of Iron Man himself, like he wasn't the to clone himself, but he has all these suits of armor. So what if he could automate those and they can function almost as good as the version of himself controlled by AI, but then the base consciousness of the mind Stone perverted them, and upgraded the system way beyond what Iron Man intended. So that was when Ultron was born. His consciousness was basically like the consciousness of the mind Stone. Infinity Stone makes with Iron is programming in tech. Imagine in Superior Iron Man's alternate universe the twist with Ultron never happened, or when it was happening, he was somehow able to stop that from going off the rails. So his Ultron never goes crazy and Superior Iron Man is able to use the Infinity Stones to safely upgrade all of his tech to hypertech levels. So that's why they kind of look like Ultron robots, but with way softer edges, like the eyes are wider. They look way less evil, but still very, very hardcore it. Even though there's been lots of speculation about this figure here. People wondering if it's a version of Superior Iron Man or somebody else because the low quality, the YouTube trailer footage is kind of blurry. There's number 4K clean version to zoom and enhance on people seeing weird things in the edges of this character's face. I talked about this in my last Doctor Strange video too. It's the same person who's fighting the Scarlet, which variant, who's got the oil or the fluid. From those Superior Iron Man, Ultron boats all over her. Like in this scene here, when she looks like she's gonna go ham on everybody. She's covered in the metaphorical and blood of all these Ultron robots. She's probably just destroyed in the person that she's fighting here. All lit up with the blue-orange energy isn't Captain Marvel variant. Who is Maria Rambeau from another universe because her power signature looks exactly like Captain Marvel's in Superior Iron Man, even though his armor would look way different, way more hardcore than MCU Iron Man's armor. It wouldn't have the same power signature as Captain Marvel, even in the comics. When Superior Iron Man was fighting people in his armor, his power signature didn't look anything like this right now, as you probably suspected. Marvel is holding back on, bro. Like, who's actually playing the Superior Iron Man character and what his armor looks like. Mostly because Patrick Stewart's Professor X was meant to be the big WTF X-Men reveal that they wanted everybody freaking out about in the last trailer. They don't want to give every single thing away in the first big trailer, and when we call him Superior Army and he's something a little different in the comics than it does in the MCU, right? Now, remember the Loki series, then this whole thing about who the superior Loki was amongst all the variants in the MCU context is meant to denote the best version of Loki. Like, each version here thinks that they are superior to the other versions around them. Personally, my pick for superior Loki was Alligator Loki. Now wait, come back during season 2. Maybe some Frog Thor again, to really big fan of the animal versions of characters. America's famous comment, they do not trade lives with the Illuminati. They trade lives all the time. So Superior Iron Man in Doctor Strange 2 is just like that. He trades lives. Big time. My early theory right now, just based on all the footage that we're seeing in the trailer of this Scarlet, which tearing through their base, like it's tissue paper and all these other members of the team, is that she'll wind up killing some of the multiverse Illuminati, and the reason why they're hiding them up so much is probably so that when she does kill some of them, it'll just way harder than theater, when you're watching it, go down. Like, the whole thing in WandaVision is that they were trying to hype up that she was this crazy powerful being. Her chaos magic just elevated her to this level that you never seen before. Agatha Harkness even says that she's supposed to be more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme. So if you want Scarlet Witch or Startup which has variant to feel like a badass, you just have to put them up against Clay, Morrow, people. And is probably why they're hiding out this multiverse Illuminati team as being so powerful. There are some rumors that Superior Iron Man in the movie has a couple Infinity Stones in his universe, even though Marvel has been playing it fast and loose with how the Infinity Stones are meant to work in the comics. Infinity Stones are only supposed to work in their original universe. Outside of it, they're no better than paperweights like during the Loki series. Make sure got a lot of those. This in its own little pocket dimension where the rules of reality are a little different, making crazier things possible. I also like the theory that the Illuminati team themselves will be kind of an antagonist in the movie just to make Scarlet Witch feel like less of a villain. It has 4 who's actually playing that Superior Iron Man character, the other actor. I don't think that it's Tom Cruise. I think, like, blown away, that is Tom Cruise, but all the leaks that people are talking about seem like they're fake photoshops in. Not in like the funny, Andrew, a way where it's like, oh, it's clearly not a photoshop and the actor's just saying this photoshop. I've got a couple of the videos about some of the other multiverse characters that I'm working on. If you have any big request for the movie, just write them below in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. Take care. Bye.